we have a first generation that has been used at world-renowned hospitals in North America and in Asia. And that first generation basically validated our value proposition. We thought this, could work. The doctors had to tell us that it did, and it does. It works very, very well.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Tom Luby. He is the CEO of Conavi Medical. And Tom, it's good to see you. How are you?
It's great to see you, Steve. I'm doing very well. Thank you.
Good to have you along. Excited to learn a bit more about the company. Real fascinating company. Tell me a little bit of backstory of the company.
Yeah, the company was founded at Sunnybrook Hospital in Toronto. The technology was taken out of there. It was meant to solve a problem that the interventionalists, the cardiovascular interventionalists, were having there, which is to look inside of the vessels. You can use intravascular ultrasound, or you can use optical laser beams called OCT. But both of them have kind of strengths and weaknesses, and you have to choose one before going into the case. And so if you choose one, you'll have like blind spots and so on. So the inventors decided to put both of those modalities together in the same catheter. And what that does is it bolsters the strengths, it removes the weaknesses, and it provides the best visualization inside of the vessel to help guide maybe the number one most performed procedure in the world, which is coronary interventions.
Yeah, and was this something that needed to be the next stage of that development? As you mentioned, there's a procedure in place right now, but never combining the two together. So it sounds like it's a real leap forward in the technology.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you think about, the arc of any market as it's being developed, there's, certain stages. So for decades, angiography, which is a moving X-ray taken from outside of the body, that's been used to guide therapy for decades, as I said. But it limited, what you could actually perform. It didn't provide all that much information, as you can imagine, from an X-ray. So IVUS, or intravascular ultrasound, and OCT, the laser beam one that I'm talking about, they were developed individually from each other, and they actually help doctors perform a little bit more complicated procedures. The clinical results on these, after decades of testing, 20 randomized controlled trials, basically show if you use just one of the modalities, ultrasound or OCT, you can see a 50% improvement in death related to these procedures, or thrombosis related to these procedures. And this is leading guidelines around the globe to be updated to basically, not just suggest, but mandate the use of these technologies. So here we come along on the next phase by combining the two together, and it's just going to make the results even better than that.
So obviously it's far along. You've got approval from the FDA. You've also got regulatory approval for use with Health Canada as well. Tell me what stage you are right now and getting it out everywhere.
Yeah, so we have a first generation that has been used at world-renowned hospitals in North America and in Asia. And that first generation basically validated our value proposition. We thought this, could work. The doctors had to tell us that it did, and it does. It works very, very well. But we also learn what more they want from it, right? So we went into a product development cycle about 2 years ago that we're coming close to the end of, and that is what we call Novasight 3.0. So this is the iteration on our first generation product, but it's a ground up redesign for several things. We improved the image from the ultrasound side, the optical side. We made it much more easy to use. We've infused it with a lot of AI type technologies to help guide the therapy for the doctors. The AI will help them recognize tissue, help them to size the lumen. It really helps them at each step along the way. And if you consider the advantage that we Conavi have, when our competitors only have one modality or the other, we have two very rich data streams that crosstalk. And that just throws off a lot of insights from the AI engine. So we're really excited about that. So we're nearing the completion of that development. We will prepare that for submission, and then we will start to commercialize that. Those would be in the next year to year and a half, or some of the big milestones that we've got in front of us for that.
Yeah. And lastly, Tom, just talk to me a little bit about the reaction you're getting from medical professionals. So I imagine that they must be pretty excited about when these type of advancements come. Some can be skeptical, but some are like, this is exactly what we've been waiting for.
It's interesting. So I've been in other novel medical device businesses where it did take a lot more convincing to say, you have standard of care, we're asking you to do something different that we think is better, and they're very reticent to do that. I think in this particular case, I've never gone to medical trade shows before where the doctors walk by the booth and then they look back and you see this aha moment before any word has been spoken because they see both images on the screen at the same time and they just say, that makes a lot of sense. So a lot of that hard work in developing the market has been done by the big players there that own only one of the modalities. And they've really nurtured it. They've really educated, they produced the clinical evidence. And here we come along and we are able to use that evidence to demonstrate that we even have the best mousetrap out there.
Very exciting times for sure. Look forward to continuing to follow the story, Tom. Thanks so much. Great to catch up with you and learn what you're up to. Appreciate it.
Great to talk to you, Steve. Thank you very much.
All right, there's Tom Luby. He's the CEO of Conavi Medical.